Irish Catholics had run the city for over a century, but Protestants lorded over Boston in the 1830s. So when the angry mob assembled on that August evening in 1834, the nuns had every reason to wonder whether local officials would come to their defense. During the 1830s, as the refined republicanism of the Federalists was giving way to the rough-and-tumble populism of the age of Jackson, a contagion of rioting swept across the country as citizens struggled with a litany of ills. Ethnic hatreds, religious animosities, class tensions, racial prejudice, economic grievances, moral fears over drinking, gaming, and prostitution, political struggles, the albatross of slavery. In fact, 1834 was, in the words of one observer, America's great riot year, a time when, according to Unitarian theologian William Ellery Channing, it seemed to many as if American society were shaken to its foundations, all its joints loosened, all its fixtures about to be swept away. That year saw riots from Louisiana to Massachusetts, labor riots, bank riots, election riots, ethnic riots, anti-abolitionist riots, race riots, anti-Mormon riots, and anti-Catholic riots. The next year, the nonpartisan Niles Weekly Register would complain that brute force has suspended the law at many places, and violence became the order of the day. Or as a citizen's petition from upstate New York put it, the maxim of Jefferson, that error may always be safely tolerated so long as truth is left free to combat it, seems to have been left, for this age to have discovered that a stone or a brick bat thrown from the hand of a mob is a short and improved method of introducing the truth within the skull. On that hot night in Charlestown, there were some middle-class merchants in the mix, including a dry goods merchant, a shoe dealer, and a factory owner. But the mob comprised for the most part truckmen and brickmakers, working-class men worried about losing jobs to Irish immigrants, and likely resentful of the aristocratic education the school was supplying to Boston Brahmins' daughters. The mob was also driven by religious factors, including a rising tide of anti-Catholicism, set off by a new immigration wave from Ireland. Undergirding all these factors was the conservative conviction that lies at the heart of all U.S. culture wars, that something dear was being lost, so it was up to all true patriots to recover it. Chivalrous violence. In the weeks and months leading up to August 1834, a dog was shot and killed on convent grounds. Ringleader John Bazell, who reportedly stood a Bunyan-esque 6'6", dished out a brutal beating to an Irish groundskeeper, also on convent land. And Charlestown's selectmen butted heads with Bishop of Boston, Benedict Fenwick, concerning his effort to bury 2 Catholic children on land he had purchased on Bunker Hill for use as a Catholic cemetery. Most ominously, rumors circulated of a nun held against her will at Mount Benedict. A few years earlier, a convert to Catholicism named Rebecca Reed had left Mount Benedict and begun speaking of abuse there. These stories would later find their way into print as 6 Months in a Convent, 1835. But allegations that Reed had been abused by Catholic authorities were already circulating in and around Boston. 2 weeks before the riot, a nun named Elizabeth Harrison, a.k.a. Sister Mary John, had also run away, only to be coaxed back by Bishop Fenwick, who had served in 1817 as president of Georgetown and was responsible for opening in 1827 what would become Boston College. Rumor had it that Harrison had been forced to return to Mount Benedict and was now held captive there, perhaps in an underground dungeon. Some even speculated that she had been buried alive. So when the rioters assembled outside Mount Benedict on the evening of August 11th, 1834,